Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the London Silver Bullet for Wednesday, November 22nd. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart, okay? And I'm just going to click on this button right here to kind of minimize it. And what we got here, this is an order block right here, okay? So there's a 15-minute order block, okay? Why is that an order block? Because I know what happens, and that was an order block. Okay, so it's the last down go click candle. There's the next one. If I went over one here, there's a fair value gap. This is an order block. Okay, let's go to the 1 minute chart. Okay, and now let's turn on the Kraken Silver Bullet indicator, and we started the 3 o'clock hour already, right? So we have our blue order block here. Section is our 15-minute order block. Okay, and let's turn on some other things here, but let's look at something here. I want to show you that here's the PM session, and then you see this long candle here and another long candle here. Kind of wiped out everything. I mean, they took out all the lows on here. Okay, and lows and highs. So it kind of cleared the board. Okay, so when I turn this on, let's turn on the Asia, let's turn on the AM, the New York lunch, and the PM session. Okay. I'm going to show you what happened here. I know you can see these lines, but you just got to see the lines here. Okay, AM buy side gets taken. Okay, it doesn't get taken before that. It gets taken right here. PM gets taken right here. Okay, otherwise those two liquidity would be available, but it got taken after the close, before the Asia range. Same thing here. PM session taken. New York lunch low taken. AM sell side taken. So it cleared the board, okay? Well, the next one we have between the PM session and the Asia session is this gap here of no time, right? Well, how do you mark this high and low? Well, you can just mark it, with a horizontal ray if you want, right? What I do is I use the Kraken Silver Bullet indicator, and I come down here. I'm going to turn off these that are taken off, right? But I come into session 7, which I get to make up myself, and I turn this on to 1601, right? Why is it 1601? Okay, because 1601, each candle has 2 times to it. Okay, as a start time and an end time. If I did 1600, it's going to be the 1559 candle, because that ends at 1600 in the coding. Okay, and the 1601 candle started at 1600 and ends at 1601. So I want the start time, so I got to use 1601. I know it probably doesn't make any sense to anyone, but trust me, it works that way in the coding. And then I want this to end at hour 20, so 1599, or sorry, 1959 is the start of that last minute candle, and it ends at hour 20. So that's why this one is. And look at this blue range right here. It marks the high and the low of that range, because the Asia session starts here, right here. Okay, everything else was before that. Okay, so that's why the indicator, we give you 2 extra lines here in case you want to mark something else, but this is why, a perfect case why we use this. I use this indicator because I want to know the timing of when it was. That's the new session. You see session 7 buy side liquidity, session 7 sell side liquidity, right? Okay, so now we have our highs and lows of liquidity that's still on the board that we can have, okay? So we just took out the Asia low, and what are we looking for? A reversal, right? To go back up, targeting the Asia highs. Okay, so that's where we're at right now, okay? Let's see where we're at here, and let's just keep going here. I'll leave this. I want to see the Asia high on here, okay? Let's keep going. Obviously, I want to have a pullback of some sort to get into a trade here. I don't want to take out that high. Just need it to pull back. We're in very much of a premium. So if we pulled our fib from here to here, I mean, you just look where we're way up here. We need to come down here. Okay. Before it takes that high. If it takes that high, I'll have to reevaluate. Okay. Now it's starting to come down. Let's pull our fib from low to high and get, here's equilibrium, here's optimal trade entry. Optimal trade entry, we have the 15-minute order block here. But what do you also have? What do you also have this? What's this right here? Low, high, lower low, breaks through. If it comes back down to it, it's a breaker. A breaker walk. Now if you notice this candle here, if you want to just go off the up close candle, it's right there. Okay. Which I usually use that as well. ICT has been lately using the higher wick, so he'll actually use the higher wick. So you can use either or. It doesn't really matter. I use both actually, to be honest. It just doesn't matter. I'm not looking for exact, precise to the tick precision here, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. I'm going to use that one. For right here, I'm going to use that. Okay, so that's where we're targeting. If it comes down here, we're going to buy 2 contracts because I'm going to show you what we're targeting here in a minute. I'm going to leave 1 for the Asia high and then 1 for the sell side if it continues up and trail my stop. That's why I want to buy 2 contracts. So I can take a partial. Okay, here we're going to get something here pretty quick. Hopefully. Oh, don't leave without us. Come back down. All right, so we're going to buy 2 right there. Okay. Now buy 2. And let's put a long position on here. Right. What are we targeting? The Asia high. So let's see if we get Asia high right there. And then second one, we're going to the same spot. Where do we put our stop loss? We put our stop loss right here, right here. And then we'll use our TP. Well, where's our TP target? Realistically, is right here. Session 7. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I will take 1 off when we cross the Asia high here. Okay. So you see how if we just use the up close candle, it went to the tick right to the line there. If you use the highest wick of the with the clean candle, just the wick part, it actually goes in institutional order flow entry drill into the breaker. So it's kind of personal preference which one to use. I get asked quite a bit actually about why you trust this. Well, you have a 15-minute order block that's holding. You have a breaker block, which is a very strong PD array. You also have unmarked fair value gaps that I didn't mark in here. There's one right here. There's one right here. Volume imbalance, another one right here. And look, if it took the trade and it took me out, okay, fine. Then I'm looking for to go short. Obviously, we're reversing. We had a major market structure shift. Now I'm looking to go down. I just changed my narrative. I mean, that's just that simple, right? since we're doing 2 contracts, now I'm moving this to the bottom of the 15-minute order block, preserving capital. So the rule of the game is preserving capital. That's the secret to trading. Okay, here I'd probably be at break even, just above break even, just because it's come up so far. Let's see, 1 PD array, 2 PD arrays. Here's a volume imbalance. So I could go right. Oh, I could go right to here, and I'd have the 3 PD array rule working just fine for me. So close there. Just kind of hovering right here. Not a huge fan. Still not moving my stop. I'm $319. I'm good. I need to close above the Asia. Okay, so now I can sell one off. I sold one there. Now we're at 1. Okay, and let's move this up here like this so I can see where we're at here. All right, so now I would move my stop up here to underneath this one right here. Why am I doing that? Preserving capital. I don't want to see this violated. If it takes me out, it takes me out. Never be afraid to move your stop to protect capital, and if it takes you out, it takes you out. And if it went up and hit your target, who cares? You still pocketed $350 in this scenario, right? Now this high is, I can move this above here, but I'm good. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. If it gets up here a little bit more, I'll move it. I'll trail it up. I'm just, not worried about trailing it at the moment. Okay, but that right there's a small volume imbalance, another volume balance, a volume balance, an order block here, a thing here. So let's definitely move it up at least to here. I mean, in theory, it should probably be to the bottom of this order block. So right here, I don't want to see that, this order block right here, I don't want to see that violated. So it's good to see volume imbalances in my direction. I mean, I'm loving that. I still like trying to give it some room to breathe. Okay, now we're gonna have to move it up some more. Let's go to, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna go right up to here. Okay. So you got 1 fair value gap here, a volume imbalance here, a fair value gap here, and a volume imbalance, small one here. So I'm leaving it right there. Hopefully you're seeing how I'm adjusting this and why I'm adjusting it this way. Okay. Why do I not do it after every single PD array that it makes? Because I like to give it some room to retrace a little bit, build up some more liquidity, and then come back up. Just like this. People are thinking, "Oh, this is where it's going to stop," or they might be shorting this, even though this hasn't been taken out. But this swing has been taken out, so and then they, hey, look, whoa, now we're breaking structure. Oh gosh, we're breaking structure. No, they just took out these peoples that trailed so tight. They just took these out. Now it's going to come back up here and take these people out. And build more orders. Now take them out. So that's why I don't want to move it too fast, too quick. I like to let it give it time to pull back and take out and create a swing low, swing low, make a swing low. People are trailing their stops so tight. They take them out, take those orders and go long, reverse. So I like to use 3 PD array rule, and if I'm this far up, I'm happy with $600. I'm great. If it clears this high, I'll probably move it up to this low here. Need a candle close above that high. Okay, now we'll move this up to here. Don't want to see that low violated. So all right, we got 1, 2, 3, so we're moving this up to here. I will say that sometimes towards the end, as I get closer, I'm way more aggressive with my trailing stop because I want to capitalize on the most gain that I have. And what am I doing that? We got 1 fair value gap here. Here's 2, volume and balance. 3, 4, we're moving it up. Moving this up to here. If I get wicked out, I get wicked out. And now here, after something like that, I'm moving it way up. Okay, took us out. All right. Okay, so all right, so let's recap here. Let's take off the 2 positions here. All right, so we started the 3 o'clock hour and we went to the 15-minute chart. We had an order block here and price was coming up. We marked out our session highs and lows to see what has been taken out, where liquidity was still resting. We saw that the previous day, after hours, before Asia, they kind of wiped the board, right? They took out all the buy side and all the sell side from the afternoon and most of the day right there. Well, we didn't have a session time between 1600 and hour 20. So we used the Kraken Silver Bullet indicator and made session 7, 1601 to 1959, and show us the highs and lows to create a new session liquidity there. And we did that, and that's what we had. That's what we had targeted for our high. We had our 3 o'clock. Let me go back here. At 3 o'clock, we came up and we were kind of just a beeline for the Asia high. Luckily for us, it stopped short and it pulled back. When that happens, that's a tip that it really wants to take that high, but it needs to build up some more liquidity to go higher. So it's coming down. It's going to usually optimal trade entry. So I've been noticing that a lot. That's when it lays up like this, that there's a lot of times optimal trade entry is a good one to get in on. So we had the 15-minute order block. We marked out our breaker, and price came down right into the 15-minute order block and the breaker. We bought 2 contracts. We targeted the Asia high for our first contract, okay, and we actually got in up here, okay, and then we left a runner, and we were targeting the the buy side of that spike here at 1620. So that new session that we created there, we were targeting that as a high, and we were trailing our stop along the way, giving it enough room to breathe and to retrace and then go higher, but enough that if it would have taken us out, we would have captured enough of our profit to preserve as much capital as possible. All right, so those are your two trade setups, really one trade setup, two targets for the London Silver Bullet on November 22nd using the Kraken Silver Bullet indicator.